Welcome. My name is Josh Almeida, and I am very excited to bring to you our latest installment of Focus on Learning, brought to you by New Bedford Public Schools and New Bedford Cable Network. While the best way to find out what your child could be doing at home is to work directly with your child's teacher in school, we know these videos will help everyone keep learning active at home.
Hello there. I'm Mrs. Guy, Marcia Guy to the grown-ups. Mrs. Guy, I teach grade 4 at the Ashley Elementary Schools. I today am going to, with you, make a solar oven good enough to make s'mores. Now that I have your attention, I want to talk about the safety things. First, here's my mom finger. First, this is not to cook raw food. You cannot use this to cook something from a raw state. This is for reheating things. I've actually done pizza that's been cooked. I've reheated that in it. I've done pigs in a blanket that have already been cooked, and I reheated them in this. And my favorite, the s'mores that we're going to do today. Alrighty, and the other thing, one of our pieces of the materials you'll need is either a box cutter or scissors. Here's my mom finger. A grown-up needs to do this part. All right, when we cut, I want a grown-up doing that. I want you guys being safe. Alrighty, so I'm ready to go. So these are the materials we're going to be using today. An empty shoebox, a grown-up size, not kid size. They're not big enough to do the s'mores. Old newspaper, or if you don't have a newspaper, you could use old gift wrap or paper towels. Cardboard strips, a box cutter or scissors, and remember, that's for parents, please, to use. Be safe for me. Aluminum foil, saran wrap, a ruler, and black construction paper. Now, if you don't have black construction paper, you can actually trade that out for more aluminum foil. We can put it on the bottom of the oven instead of using the black construction paper. Either will work. Alrighty, so now let's get started. Here is my shoebox. Alrighty, I've actually already cut the opening open because I was concerned it might take too much time. Here's what you're going to do though. With your box that has not been cut yet, you're going to measure 2 inches from each side. Alright, and then you're going to draw lines that are 2 inches-ish from each edge. You can see that I'm about 2 inches from the top edge, from both sides. Alrighty, and again from the bottom. Alright, then with that box cutter, a responsible grown-up is going to cut the opening that you've just traced 2 inches from each edge. Now that it's cut, we're going to put that aside because we have to take care of the inside of our solar oven. And here is what it's going to look like in the end. And here is the easy way to make constructions of it. I'm going to pull it apart so that you can see where things are. The important thing to remember is that you have to line the bottom of the shoebox as well. Remember, the newspaper or paper towels or old gift wrap that you're going to be using, this is what makes the insulator part of this oven. And remember, an insulator is something that helps to keep something in or out. All right? We're going to use this insulator to keep in the heat that comes from the sun, the sunlight, as it transfers from light energy to heat energy. All right? If you don't put it on the bottom, it's going to take much longer for it to work. All right? So we've lined the bottom now of the box with newspapers. Now we're going to make that construction, the cardboard. All right, we're going to take some cardboard strips, and I want you to see how the height of the cardboard is compared to the height of the box. I have this cardboard sitting at the bottom edge of the box. It's smaller, and that's because we're stuffing this with old newspapers or paper towels or old gift wrap paper. So this is going to get wrapped in Reynolds wrap or aluminum foil. We do not need any brands. And how you do it is, you take the cardboard, you pull out some aluminum foil and you wrap the baby up. Now, this, remember that there are two sides to aluminum foil. There's the dull side and the shiny side. We want the shiny side out because, again, this is going to be a reflector. When that sunlight comes into your shoebox, it's going to reflect off of this aluminum wrap that is around the frame of the opening that we cut out earlier. All right, so now, nice and noisy, we're going to wrap that in and wrap it up. And that part's done. So now we're going to take our solar oven, which has already got the bottom frame there. And here's the odd thing. What we're going to do, let me get that out of the way so you can see. We're going to actually use the top that we have already cut open because we want this to frame this. So here is my first bend, and you'll see here I now have a corner. Alrighty, I now have a corner on my solar oven. Now I'm going to give a bend. I've now created another corner on my solar oven. And another bend. And another bend. So that now, all of a sudden, I have a reflector shield that is the same exact dimension as the opening of our shoebox top. Right now, we'll bring the oven portion back. Here we go. We're going to put this in, and we're not going to worry for a few minutes where it is, because you have to take your old newspapers and scrunch them up. Now, don't scrunch them up too tight, because we actually want there to be a little air in there, because that's what's going to get heated up when the sun comes in through the plastic wrap and starts bouncing, reflecting off of the aluminum foil. It's going to heat up the particles inside of the oven to make it warm. And we don't want it too tightly packed, or it might not hold our heat. All right? So I like crunching it up like this. It's going to look like a fan at the end. Now, it doesn't really matter how you crunch it up. It just matters that you fill it in, and where I'm going to show you how that's done here, just going to fill that in and make these boxes so that the frame doesn't have a place to go. And I've already done a few others beforehand so that we can save some time. And you don't have to worry if it's not pretty right away. We can fix it once we get the box top on. And no such thing as too much. And the last one, here we go. So now by the time you've gotten all of the sides stuffed with an insulating material, this is probably going to be really close to the center. Here is where we find out how well we did. Put your cover on your shoebox. And as you can see, the metal of the aluminum foil is actually surrounding the whole opening. It goes all the way down. Now, one of the things that might happen is your frame, your metal reflector shield, might go down too low. That just means you need to put more newspaper or insulating material on the bottom. Alrighty? Now that we have a really good frame, I'm going to pull this back out, and I'm going to put my black construction paper down. And just so you know, I've been doing this, I want to say for 16 years. I have done this with my classes on grades 2, 3, 4, and 6. No, and yeah, 5 and 6. Gosh, I've taught grades 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've done this as an end-of-year fun science thing each year, and it's worked amazingly. Alrighty, we shoved that construction paper down the bottom, and we put our frame, our reflecting shield back in so that it looks like this. Alrighty. Now again, if you don't have black construction paper, you can put the another layer of aluminum foil just on the bottom. And then We put this here. I've still got a good frame. Excellent. All right, I'm going to put this aside right now because we need to make the s'more. S'mores, one of my favorite things. Graham crackers. I use mini marshmallows because it helps the little piece of chocolate to lay flat on top. The big ones they're kind of bulky and you might not get enough marshmallow coverage on your cracker. And then your chocolate bar. One piece of that chocolate bar. I know it comes in 4 sections. Only one section do you need. When you make it up, and you wrap it again in aluminum foil. And that aluminum foil item will just get put in your solar oven. In your solar oven. And then we're going to put some plastic wrap or saran wrap, excuse me. We're going to put some plastic wrap on top. And I'm going to let you know that you actually don't need a hot day for this. You just need a clear day. If the wind is going, it's going to take a little bit longer because the wind is going to cool down your oven a little bit. But in the end, you will have s'mores. Put the plastic covering the whole thing. Put that back here. Put our cover back on and smush this thing down. Now, some kids in my classroom have preferred to tape their box closed. I've never done it myself, but you certainly can. You also could put rubber bands around the ends of each to keep the box top on. If you have one of the folding box tops, you don't have to worry about it coming over because it's connected. All right, so this is what it will look like in the end. Of course, there'll be a s'more in there, little rectangular wrapped package, and that is your solar oven. It goes out. Don't lay it in the shade. Lay it in the sun, hopefully near something that the wind can help protect it a little bit, and you will have, and well, it will matter. It does. You'll have, maybe in 20 minutes, a functional s'more. Now, I'm hoping that our side panel here, we've made one and set it out, and it's been going, I'm thinking maybe 15 minutes. Here's how you know whether they're working. On some s'more packages, you will see a moisture fog. That means that you are on track for this thing working. And I'm telling you, it has worked for every child I've taught except one. I won't mention that the reason was, well, I will mention, they didn't follow the directions. They didn't pay attention. But that was only one in hundreds of children I have done this with over the last 16, 17 years. So now let's see, when you think you're done, because you can always redo it, you take it out, you undo your plastic wrap, you take your s'more out, and if you can squish it down, it's done. This one still needs a little bit more time, so we're going to put it back in, put that cover back on, and put it back in the sun, and give it some more time. That, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is a solar oven made out of a shoebox and the other materials that we've listed earlier. I hope your s'more comes out as good as all of mine ever did. You guys have a great day and have fun experimenting. This is Mrs. Guy from Ashley School saying, go explore in your backyard.